one of the most important things when we are talking about diesel generators is the starting air valve. You have to take care of this equipment and make sure that you always have spare parts on board to repair it if you do not have an already sealed one, just to replace the old one. So take very good care of this and always do the maintenance on time. Hello everyone, welcome to another vlog about the seaman life. Today we are in engine room. This is the location of the starting air valve on the generator number 2. That is the new one that is already installed on the another generator, and that is how it should look like when it's back on position. The third engineer is doing maintenance on the starting air valve today, and as you can see, he already printed out from the manual the instruction how to operate and how to open to do the maintenance on this. This is a diesel generator made by Daihatsu. This is a Japanese company. It is very good quality. You don't have to do a lot of maintenance on Daihatsu generators. The fourth engineer is assisting him. Actually, the fourth engineer, the Indian guy, is first time as an engineer in engine room. Before he was motorman, and this is good experience for him. The third engineer is the Chinese guy. He has plenty experience at sea. As you can see, they are always putting marks before opening, and that is good practice whenever you are opening something in engine room. Keep that in mind if you are coming on board anytime soon. Always put marks and always check the user manual. Even though, like I said, the third engineer has plenty experience, he printed out the instructions just to see exactly the parts of the starting air valve. It's always a good practice not to think that you are smarter than you already are, and just follow the guide from the maker. This starting air valve, like I said, is from a Daihatsu generator, and as you can see, it's sealed. That is how it's supposed to be. It has to be airtight, so it's difficult to open, but always use rubber hammer and don't use blunt force, because if you damage any parts of this, it will be very expensive for the company to buy a new one. And the most important thing, whenever you are planning any maintenance on the starting air valve or any other equipment in engine room, always check that you have spare parts for that equipment, because sometimes, like for example for motors, if you are opening the shaft and you are damaging the bearing inside and you do not have a spare bearing, then you cannot even put back the old one. And also here on the starting air valves there are a lot of o-rings, and if you don't have spare o-rings, your starting air valve will leak air whenever you are using it to start a generator, and it will follow up with more problems. So it is a good practice to always check that you have the user guide manual print out, that you have spare parts, that you have some marker, and then you can start the job. Unless we are talking about an emergency situation, do not rush any job, any maintenance job that you have to do in engine room. Most ships will have 3 generators, So they are doing the maintenance on the starting air valve on one generator, so you still have two generators to use. So better do this job properly, follow the instructions from the manual. Of course it will take more time, but at least you are doing a proper job. And as you can see, they are collecting all the small parts in a separate area. There are a lot of small parts, screws, nuts, O-rings and springs, and you have to take good care of this. Do not lose anything, because it will be a more difficult job to open this the first time. You put it back in position and then you see it has another problem, maybe leaking air, maybe some other problem, and then you have to open it again. And of course this will take more time, and maybe the chief engineer will get angry at you that you are not doing a proper job. So always take good care of the small parts and collect them in a special area. As you can see, they put some clean white rugs over there and they are collecting everything. And everybody is responsible here, everybody has experience. They are not first time on board, and they are trying to do the best job that they can. We are paid to work, and this is what we are doing. And since you are here on board, better to do the best of your ability. As you can see, they are trying to open the starting air valve. Like I said, this is airtight, it's sealed, and it's very difficult to open. And of course you don't have to use a lot of blunt force, because you can damage it and make more problems. That is why it's taking a little bit longer, but you use a screwdriver, you use some rubber hammer or plastic hammer, and after a while you will open it. As you can see, they are taking photos as well. We need these photos for the monthly report of our jobs that we have to send to the company. Whatever jobs we are doing on board, we take some photos just to be like an evidence, you know, that we actually did the job. Anyway, the crew on board this ship was very responsible. Everybody was doing the job that they are paid for, and there were no issues. The chief engineer was very good to us. He was assisting us if we had any problems, any questions. It is good to have good management, no matter where you are working. If you are working on a ship or in an office, if you have good management, the job will be done properly, and it will be done in a short time. But I have been on ships where the chief engineer does not have patience, and he's always yelling at the crew, and he's always in a rush. And when you have management like that, you can understand that the job will be more difficult than it should be. Anyway, the seaman life is not an easy one. We are stuck at sea for 5, 6, 9 months per year, and it's difficult enough. And if you have difficult people that are always screaming, always yelling, always are angry, then, like I said, the job will be more difficult. So on this particular ship there were no issues like that. We had good management, and the crew was very hard working, so to speak. As you can see, they are checking all the small parts according to the user manual. Every small part has a number, and before you assemble everything, you have to double check, maybe triple check, that you have all the spare parts, all the small parts are there and nothing is missing. Now they are blowing by air a little bit, just to be sure that the piston inside is working and is doing its job. They have already cleaned inside everything. As you can see earlier, they already took out the O-rings. Nothing was broken, so they just cleaned the old O-rings and they put them back. Sometimes so those O-rings can be broken, and of course you have to put a new O-ring Even if you are putting the old o-ring with the Loctite, it will not be a good idea, and it will not be working properly for a very long time. Of course, sometimes it happens that you simply do not have spare parts on board, and you just have to handle the situation for a few days somehow until you receive the new spares. But when you are having the new spares on board, there is no point of making a bullshit job. You do the job properly. Now they are assembling everything. They have already tested the valve, as you have seen earlier. Everything is ready to be put in position, and then they will start the generator and test everything that is working properly. As you can see, they are checking, double checking that all the parts are there, and now the fourth engineer is taking the starting air valve back to the generator number 2. Now they will assemble it back in position, and after they assemble everything, we will test the generator like I said, and everything was good because they have done a good job. If you are still in school and you will be coming on board as an engine cadet, my advice to you is to follow the engineers and always ask if you don't understand something. And whenever they are doing an important job like this, always keep an eye out, ask questions if you don't understand something, and try to assist them in any way. Most of the time the crew will be helpful. They will understand that you are just a cadet. There are no stupid questions. You ask everything, because when you don't know, you don't know. But after a while, when you will become engineer and you ask stupid questions, then the chief engineer will have a problem with you. But as long as you are willing to learn, you are just a cadet, everybody will be understanding and they will teach you. So always pay attention, always ask questions and try to understand. And of course, whenever you have some free time, check the manuals, all the manuals. No matter what equipment, always check the manual when you are on standby, when you are maneuvering. If you are just sitting around, check some manuals. You never know when you will find some information that one day may save your job, and you will look very smart in front of the chief engineer. If you have enjoyed the vlog, don't forget to hit that like button, and maybe you want to subscribe to the channel for more of the Seaman life. As always, thank you very much for your attention, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Goodbye.